What if a single tick of a clock could unravel a secret buried for a century in the heart of your town? Picture a forgotten clock tower, its hands frozen in time.
Oh.
Suddenly stirring to life under a moonless sky, its chime calling to one curious, soul brave enough to listen. This is the story of Elias, a 16-year-old aspiring historian in 2025, who's before we continue. If you enjoy winding down with peaceful stories from the shadows of history, don't forget to subscribe to After Dark History. A like helps more sleepy souls find us, and your comment lets us know where to travel next in time. Now, get cozy. Let the past whisper you to sleep. Life in the sleepy coastal town of Port Haven is about to plunge into a mystery, tying the past to a truth no one dares touch. It all began on a foggy autumn evening. It's the kind where the mist rolled off the sea like a living shroud, wrapping Port Haven's cobblestone streets and weathered rooftops in an eerie embrace. Elias, a lanky kid with unruly curls and a passion for old stories, was filming a new video for his After Dark History YouTube channel, a cozy corner of the internet where he shared tales of forgotten lore to a small but devoted audience. Tonight, his lens was fixed on the town's oldest relic, a crumbling clock tower at the edge of Port Haven. Its face stuck at 1203 since 1925. The clock tower loomed over the cliffs, stone facade choked with ivy, its iron hands rusted in place. Locals whispered it was cursed, tied to the Starling, a ship that vanished in a storm 100 years ago, taking half the town's souls with it. Elias, ever the skeptic, saw it as the perfect ghost story for his channel, a blend of history and mystery his viewers craved. He set up his tripod in the fog, the sea's distant crash, a soft rhythm behind him. "Hey, After Dark fam," he whispered, his voice low to match the channel's soothing vibe. "Tonight, we're at Port Haven's clock tower, frozen for a century. Legend says it stopped the night the Starling sank. No survivors, no trace. Let's uncover its secrets." As he panned his camera across the tower's weathered stone, a low, resonant chime cut through the mist. Deep and deliberate, like a heartbeat from the earth, Elias froze, his breath catching. The clock tower hadn't worked in decades, its mechanism gutted by time. Yet the chime rang again, vibrating in his chest, a sound both mournful and commanding, the audio meter spiking red on his screen. His viewers would lose their minds over this, flooding the comments with theories, ghosts, glitches, or something darker. But Elias wasn't thinking about clicks. His skin prickled, the fog seeming to thicken as if the air itself was holding its breath. He checked his phone to start a live stream, but the screen flickered and went black, despite a full battery.
Come on,
He muttered, tapping it uselessly. The chime rang a third time, louder, pulling his gaze back to the tower. Heart pounding, he slung his camera over his shoulder and approached the rusted gate, its bars cold and slick with mist. The gate was locked, but the chain was loose, just enough to slip through. Elias hesitated. Trespassing wasn't his style, but the chime felt personal, like it was calling him. He squeezed through, his sneakers crunching on gravel, and pushed the warped wooden door. It creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase cloaked in dust and shadow. His flashlight beam danced across cobwebs and broken gears. The air thick with the scent of rust and damp stone, the staircase spiraled up to the clock face. Its massive hands frozen at 1203, looming like silent sentinels. Elias's pulse raced as he climbed, each step creaking under his weight. At the top, he traced the clock's edge, his fingers brushing. Cold iron. Then, impossibly, the minute hand twitched, a grinding squeak echoing in the hollow tower. Elias stumbled back, his flashlight shaking. This wasn't right. The tower was dead. Everyone said so. Yet the air buzzed, alive with something he couldn't name. A faint click drew his eyes to the clock's center. A hidden panel, no bigger. Then a book slid open with a groan, revealing a brass key nestled in a bed of dust. Its surface was etched with a ship's silhouette, sails sharp against a crescent moon. Elias's breath hitched. This wasn't just a ghost story. It was a clue, a piece of Port Haven's past no one had touched in a century. His historian's heart thumped. His After Dark history audience would eat this up, but this felt bigger than a video. The key was heavy in his hand, its edges worn but deliberate, like it was meant to unlock something forbidden. Elias pocketed the key, his mind racing with questions. Why had the clock chimed tonight? What did the key open? Why did it feel like the tower was watching him? The fog outside swirled thicker, muffling the sea's roar, as if the world was holding its secrets close. Elias wasn't a hero, just a kid who loved old stories, but this was no tale for his channel. This was real, and he was standing at the edge of something vast. What would you do if a cursed clock tower called your name? Would you chase its secrets or run? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join me for part 2, where Elias digs deeper into the past. You won't want to miss what's coming. Before we begin, if you enjoy winding down with peaceful stories from the shadows of history, don't forget to subscribe to After Dark History. A like helps more sleepy souls find us, and your comment lets us know where to travel next in time. Now, get cozy. Let the past whisper you to sleep. The fog clung to Port Haven like a second skin as Elias pedaled home from the clock tower, the brass key etched with a ship's silhouette burning a cold weight in his pocket. The chime of the supposedly dead clock tower, a relic frozen at 12:03 since 1925, still echoed in his ears, sound that shouldn't exist in a town where history slept under cobwebs. Elias, a 16-year-old aspiring historian, had stumbled onto something bigger than any tale he'd shared on his After Dark History YouTube channel. His small audience loved his cozy dives into Port Haven's lore, but this wasn't just content for views. The key, the chime, the twitching clock hand, they were real. And they were pulling him into a mystery tied to the Starling, a ship lost in a 1925 storm that took half the town with it. In his cluttered bedroom, Elias dumped the key onto his desk, its ship engraving glinting under the lamplight. His walls were plastered with maps and old photos, his floor a maze of books and scanned archives, his camera still holding footage of the chime. Set Eustace's battery drained, despite being fully charged at the tower. "Okay, focus," he muttered, shaking off the eerie feeling that the fog outside was watching. Elias was a skeptic, always chasing facts over ghost stories, but the key felt like a challenge, daring him to dig deeper into Port Haven's past. He grabbed his laptop, hoping to upload the footage, but the screen flickered and died, just like his phone. The blackout wasn't global like some cybernetic hit, was personal, centered on him. He dove into his collection of Port Haven archives, yellowed pages and faded logs he'd borrowed from the library for his channel. The Starling wasn't just a ship, it was a smuggling vessel, rumored to carry forbidden cargo when it sank. 1925 newspaper clipping described the storm, the town's panic, and whispers of a secret society called the Order of the Tide. The clock tower, built by the Order, wasn't just a timekeeper, it was a signal, a beacon for their shadowy dealings. Elias's pulse quickened as he found a sketch of a key identical to his, labeled Key to the Vault. The Order's vault was rumored to hold their secrets hidden somewhere in town. His historian's instinct screamed, this was no coincidence. Elias flipped through more records, his desk buried under papers. A logbook mentioned the Order's leader, Captain Harrow, who vanished with the Starling. The key's ship engraving matched the Starling's silhouette, sails sharp against a crescent moon. Was the vault tied to the ship's cargo? Elias' mind raced with possibilities: gold, relics, or something stranger. His viewers would eat this up, flooding the comments with theories about curses or conspiracies. But he couldn't shake the chill that this wasn't just a story. The clock tower's chime had chosen tonight, chosen him, to wake up. Why now? After a century of silence, he needed help. Elias grabbed his bike and rode to the house of Nora, his best friend, and the tech whiz who edited his After Dark History videos. She answered the door in a hoodie, her eyes wide as he spilled everything. The chime, the key, the dead devices. "Eli, you're saying the creepy tower chimed, and you found a key?" "This is next level," she said, her voice a mix of excitement and worry. Nora was the practical one, always grounding Elias's wild ideas, but even she couldn't deny this was big. "We need to research," she insisted, dragging him to her laptop. How so dead? What is with this tech curse? She groaned, grabbing her bike instead. They headed to the library, the only place with old-school records untouched. By whatever was frying their gadgets, the Port Haven Library was a relic itself, its microfiche machine humming in a dusty corner. Elias and Nora pored over grainy scans of 1925 logs, their flashlights cutting through the dim stacks. A ledger mentioned the Order's vault, rumored to be under the docks, accessible only at low tide. The key's engraving matched a symbol. In a logbook, linked to a cargo called the Beacon, Adawara's eyes widened. What if the beacon wasn't gold or jewels, but something weirder, like supernatural weird? Elias nodded, his mind flashing to his audience's love for the paranormal. But this wasn't a video script. This was real, and the key in his pocket felt heavier by the minute as they left the library, continue.